Hello, my name is Sayla Shroff. So just a little bit about myself. I am 19 years old. I live in New Mexico, Albuquerque. So yeah, I first wanted to kind of start with social media. And social media is such a huge platform nowadays, especially Instagram and Snapchat for just my age group. And so yeah, I wanted to share a story about just how people do make propositions or say things that make you feel uncomfortable, and I just want to share how I react to it. Just like what my mindset is in the beginning, and just how I alter my mindset as well. I think if you're anybody, you kind of get spam weird DMs on Instagram, but sometimes they're a little bit more inappropriate and a little bit more uncomfortable. You get these kind of DMs that are not appropriate. Specifically, I had one by this like really weird guy, and it was just inappropriate, obviously, and I made me feel really uncomfortable. So automatically what I did was I blocked them, I like wrote it off, and I think those are a little bit easier. But there's also confusing ones which I want to kind of dive into a little bit. One is people offering jobs. I've been offered jobs a few times for modeling and for singing or for things like that. Me personally, I would be very, very careful on who you allow to follow you on social media, and also how you respond to those people, especially those people that have no posts or they have a lot of posts and you're like, these are not appropriate pictures, or these seem okay. Still, I would just say, don't go for it. You'd much rather be safe than sorry. Me and my friends used to say this thing, it was like this funny, like dumb thing, but it says, when in doubt, go without. And like that can be applied to a lot of things, but especially in situations like that. Like I think everybody in the small part of who they are low-key wants to be a model. But when in doubt, I would much rather not get a job that I do not know the person, that I have no idea what their intentions are or their organization. I would much rather just go without. So blocking and reporting, just take precaution. Really think, okay, this is not safe. And also what they do is they follow you, and then they follow your other friends. And so then they'll see, oh, this person, so just be careful who you're following, be careful who you're allowing in. Also, I just wanted to talk about my experience with friends, because I think a lot of people coming out of high school, you have friends or acquaintances where they'll DM you or they'll snap you, and it's really uncomfortable because you do not expect it from them. You do not expect them to treat you or speak to you in that manner. I've experienced personally just a couple of my either guy friends or acquaintances have DM'd me or snapped me inappropriate things. A really difficult thing to handle, I would say. But when they go beyond that line, when they step across that line, I honestly, you have to say, they're not my friend, they're a stranger, and you have to go that length, because that's not appropriate and that's not okay. So I did have a friend, he was actually a really good friend of mine. Him and I kind of grew separate for a while, and then we started just talking over social media, trying to just get in touch and whatnot. But it was so hard because he had messaged me really late at night and said some really inappropriate things, and it was really hard to respond to. Because in my heart at first, I go, okay, what is the reason why he did that? Why did he think it was okay to treat me that way? And so after that, I decided to call him out, because he was my friend at the time. Called him out and said, hey, this is actually really upsetting, and I am not to be treated this way. And I actually screenshotted it, and I think I said it to my mom or something like really funny. I was actually I just got into high school, so I was a freshman in high school when this had happened to me. I literally unfollowed him and blocked him, and he ended up apologizing in person and telling me that was not right. But it was hard. It was definitely a hard thing to do, but I needed to know that I was not worth that. I was not worth being treated the way that he treated me. So I took precautions, and I put boundaries up saying, no, I know my worth and I'm not allowing that. And also just kind of a side note, on this is once we start opening doors and we start allowing that kind of verbiage, no boundaries allowed in, it actually causes us to allow other lines to be crossed as well, because we start questioning our worth. So when you have the opportunity, and I just want to say this because I think this has happened to a lot of girls, where either guys are sending nudes or they're being asked for the girl to send them nudes. And so it is very difficult, because you go, my first question is how could you, and then it is why did you, right? But I think for anybody that's listening, instead of asking why would you need to put boundaries up and say, you're not going to. We're done. We're not doing this right now. This is not okay. I'm not to be treated this way. And I'm setting boundaries up saying, I'm worth more than this. And I'm not allowing this. So yeah, I just think for friends, it is difficult, like I said. But I also kind of wanted to kind of go through just in person, because it is so uncomfortable and there's so much doubt and kind of like anxiety when things happen in person. My sister had a really bad experience while she was driving, actually, and a guy like flashed her and did very inappropriate things. And it is definitely one of those things where you go, did that just happen? Oh my gosh. What do I do now? What is the next steps, you know? So, I mean, I have a few stories, because it's just, especially being a young woman that is single, that is going through, that has a job and that has responsibilities, you do get presented a lot, and it sucks. More recently, I was actually walking around Target, and I was walking with my little sister as well, and this guy stopped me, like looked me up and down, and made a comment about my body. And at first, I literally didn't know what to do. Like, your first reaction is like, you're shocked. You're like, did they just say that to me? My first reaction was like, shock. And then I was like, what do I do? And I actually was like, I didn't have any other words, but I just said, I think I said go, and I said, like, I was just like, go away, go away, go away, do not. That's what I said. I said, do not go away. And it was crazy, because at first he was like walking and still like looking, and I was like, go away. And I just started yelling, and everybody was like looking at me. But it's better to be loud, because then everybody's looking. If you need to start saying fire, because so people listen, do it. Because it's so worth it, because you're not only empowering yourself and saying this is not okay, and bringing safety to you, because that is what you're doing. You're saying everybody's looking, everybody's watching you, do not. But you're also I was showing my little sister, we don't let guys treat us like this. We are worth more than objects, we are. And so he ended up actually following us around the store. So I went to security, and I told him about it. I was like, hey, I actually took videos of this guy, and I was like, hey, this is what's going on, this is what happened, all this stuff. And they were like, they've had issues in the past with this guy, and so it brought a case against this dude. And so it is really important to report, to tell, to share, because when we do that, we're actually also bringing awareness. We're bringing awareness to it, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know which girls to talk to, how to approach them. They know. And so it's really important that we're protecting ourselves by standing up and saying, no, this isn't okay. But also we're bringing awareness to the problem, to the issue. So yes, I was so excited just to kind of share this with you guys, and I really hope that you guys take something out of it. Thank you so much.